Community advocacy group Juntos was at the Capitol this week. They were there for their third annual Capitol Collaborations event dedicated to bringing together Wyoming's vibrant Latino, Hispano, and persons of color communities.
See that it's possible to have a voice in spaces that normally are intimidating, especially right now with everything happening around immigration, around 287Gs. We want our people who are represented us to hear that we do not, that everything that they're doing right now in regards to immigration is actually attacking our community. It's making it unsafe.
These voters got a chance to learn about tools of civic engagement, how to speak to their senators and representatives about issues that affect their communities, and got training from the Legislative Service Office. They also sat in on House and Senate readings and later visited with the Capitol Office and officials.
Me pone triste y por la razón de que muchas de las razones por que ellos dicen que están firmando este tipo de acuerdos es por la seguridad, cuando en realidad sabemos que están causando lo contrario y están haciendo que nuestra comunidad se sienta con miedo o que no se siente incluido, pero queremos nosotros como Juntos crear un espacio donde la gente se sienta incluidos en nuestro estado porque queramos o no somos parte de esa comunidad.
This comes as the state and Wyoming law enforcement have signed on to an agreement as of July of 2025 to work with ICE under the 287G agreement, which will pay them to perform immigration enforcement. This goes against a former Cheyenne Police Department 21st Century Policing Handbook, which was from 2016 on diversity training, which stipulated several major pillars of best practices, one of which states, quote, "Policy prohibits the consideration of immigration status when providing police services. The immigration status of an offender who is booked into Laramie County Detention Center will be reported to detention staff, who may report the individual's status to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Latino police officers have engaged the Hispanic community through public meeting to reassure the population that CPD is here to help them and to improve communications," end quote. And Wyoming News Now will continue to have journalists at the Capitol, and combined with our news partners at the Wyoming Tribune Eagle, WyoFiles, and Wyoming Public Radio, will bring you coverage throughout the session. And moving east to our neighbors, Pine Bluff's law enforcement is proposing a new partnership with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This would add to the 7 Wyoming counties, including Laramie County, that have already partnered with ICE. Reporter Madison Laraquente was in Pine Bluffs this weekend as local police pitched their plan at the town hall meeting.
I'm here at Pine Bluffs Town Hall to listen in on the proposed partnership of the 287G grant. Here is what was discussed and how it will affect the community.
This just streamlines and giving us the tools to, instead of playing phone tag with the federal government, it gives the baseline law enforcement the tools to be able to sift through that and answer those questions immediately.
There are currently 7 Wyoming counties that have established a partnership with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. 287G contracts allow specially trained deputies to carry out immigration enforcement duties. In return, those law enforcement agencies are reimbursed for housing detainees and for hours dedicated to immigration enforcement. This week, Pine Bluffs held a public meeting to explain to residents why they are proposing the collaboration.
We're on I-80, we're a border town. We come across this a lot.
Although Police Chief Austin Smith says the Immigration Enforcement Multiplier Agreement is to stop incoming criminal activity of undocumented persons, the whole idea of partnering with ICE is concerning to some Pine Bluffs community members like Gabby Ruiz.
It's a really thin line about thinking who is the criminal and who is just normal people living and working for the family, hard workers in the community, for the farmers, for the clinic, for the school.
Right now, ICE is not popular with everyone, especially after its actions in Minnesota, where some see their actions as excessive and going above the law. Still, it's not a done deal yet. Police Chief Smith says the partnership remains open for discussion.
We want input from the community to, address, any concerns or support for this program and what the program entails and what it doesn't.
On Monday, there will be a Pine Bluffs Public Council meeting for community members' input on the proposal. Reporting from Pine Bluffs, because local matters, I'm Madison Laraquente, Wyoming News Now.
This proposed agreement does not allow officers to perform immigration sweeps, roadblocks, or checkpoints strictly for immigration purposes. And the Laramie County Sheriff's Office has filed invoices to ICE for services provided through the 287G contracts of nearly $75,000, according to submitted invoices, which our news partners at the Wyoming Tribune Eagle obtained. Most of the money is for housing of ICE detainees from last September through the end of January. During that time, the Laramie County Jail housed 257 ICE detainees for 593 days. The rest of the bill is for certified deputy hours dedicated to immigration enforcement in October. And as a reminder, the Senate Appropriations Committee voted this week to bring the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association to Cheyenne. Tomorrow on Monday, the City Council will be discussing this and another major project's funding. They're stating to pledge $1 million towards the relocation of the PRCA headquarters from Colorado Springs to Cheyenne, as well as putting forth nearly $200,000 for refurbishing the historic pump house. The City Council will meet at 6 p.m. in City Council chambers at the O'Neill Avenue Municipal Building.
Well, warmer temperatures are going to continue to return to the area on Monday, and then windy conditions is going to be the main weather hazard of your work week. I'll give you a look at that full forecast after the break.